Shri Gurudev. Hello students. Today let us discuss about geography, second chapter, India physiography. Physiography means various landforms. As we all know, we have various types of landforms. Which are the landforms? Like deserts, plains, mountains, plateaus, islands. Like this we have various forms of land. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss mainly about four major uh, physical divisions of India. So which are the four major physical divisions of India if you take? Yes, and this is also very important 2-mark question. A question can be asked. Name the four physical divisions of India. So the four major physical divisions of India are, first one, the northern plains. See in the map you can see one which is marked, the light blue color. So all that light blue color, it is the stretch of the northern mountains. The second one is the northern Great Plains. The purple color what you see, the violet color what you see is the northern Great Plains, two which has been marked. Then we have the larger part of physical division in India, that is the blue color what you see is 4. The number 4 which has been marked is the peninsular plateau. Plateau means a level little higher than the landform. Then we have the fourth one, that is fourth one is desert, which is not mentioned in your textbook, but here the fourth form is the coastal plains. The lavender color which you see on the border region is the coastal plains. The coastal plains and islands, the lavender color what you see where 5 has been marked, that is coastal plains. Okay, islands, we have 2 island groups that we'll discuss later on. Yes, now let us discuss about the northern mountains. The northern mountains, as we know, it is located to the north of India. The northern part of India has been completely formed by the northern mountains. So if you can see here, see the map, see the brown color what you see from Kashmir, you can see that there are the dark brown color, that is the northern mountains. Okay, dark brown and the light brown color what you see is the northern mountains. So what are these northern mountains? If you see, actually the northern mountains, what name are they called by? Means it is the Himalayas. So these Himalayas, they are the group of young fold mountains. How they are formed? Means they are formed by the young fold mountains. Next thing, if you see, most of the world's highest mountain ranges are found in this Himalayas. Most of the highest ranges in the world if you see. Next we have many highest peaks here. Many deep valleys are found here. Many gorges are found here. Gorges, the water entering into the land from gorges are seen. Glaciers, huge masses of ice. Glaciers are seen. Then there are mountain passes. In between the mountain ranges, there are way to transport. So that is called as mountain passes. So we can see even the mountain passes. All these are found here. So where does the mountain, that is the northern mountain, extend? What is the extension if you take from, if you see from the western part, that is Kashmir, that end if you see from there, that is Indus Gorge. From the Indus Gorge till this end, this side in Arunachal Pradesh, the Brahmaputra Gorge. So 2,400 kilometers from Indus Gorge to Brahmaputra Gorge. This is the extension of the northern mountains. So it extends about 2,400 kilometers. So the total area of the northern mountains is 5 lakh square kilometer. So now if you see, we talked about the northern mountains. The northern mountains consist of 3 parallel ranges of the Himalaya. There are 3 parallel ranges of mountains here. Okay, the whole Himalayas can be divided into 3 parallel ranges. So you can see the lines over there, the red lines if you see there, those are the various ranges here. So these 3 mountain ranges in the Himalayas, they are called in different names. the upper level which are to a high extent, they are called as the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. They are called, as you can see that the green marks have been given, which are the Greater Himalayas, which are the Lesser Himalayas, and which are the Shivaliks they are called. So the three parallel ranges are the Greater Himalayas, which are otherwise called Himadri. Second ranges are the Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. The outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. Those are the third level. Okay. So these are the, again, another important 2-mark question. The three parallel ranges of the Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas or Himadri. The Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. The outer Himalayas or Shivaliks. Yes. Now let us discuss about the Greater Himalayas or Himadri. The Greater Himalayas or Himadri. So the Greater Himalayas, as I said you, they are the uppermost or higher level of mountain ranges. So these mountain ranges are innermost, they are continuous and the highest mountain ranges. They are highest mountain ranges. If you take the average height overall, the average height of these mountain in the Greater Himalayas, if you take, it's about 6,100 meters. And the width, if you take, the wide, if you take, it is from 240 to 320 kilometers. I think you all know the world's highest mountain peak. Which is the world's highest mountain peak? Mount Everest. You can see the mountain, you can see that here, Mount Everest near Nepal, in between Nepal and, yes, India. You can see there. So the highest mountain peak. Okay, so Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak and the height of Mount Everest is 8,848 meters. There are even other high mountains in this Greater Himalayas or Himadri along with Mount Everest. Kanchenjunga. So Kanchenjunga is about 8,586 meters. Makalu 8,481 meters. Dhaulagiri 8,172 meters. Manaslu 8,156 meters. Nanda Devi, like this, various mountain peaks are found in the highest peaks are found in the Greater Himalayas. Likewise, we can also find mountain glaciers, huge masses of ice. Okay, mountain glaciers. So two famous mountain glaciers are the Gangotri Glacier and Yamunotri Glacier. Gangotri Glacier is the birthplace of river Ganga. It is from this glacier river Ganga takes its birth. Likewise, Yamunotri Glacier is another glacier which is found in this mountain range. And I said you there are also many mountain passes. Mountain passes means mountain passes are the regions where regions available for transportation in between the mountains. So likewise, there are even many mountain passes here. Some of the important mountain passes are Burzil, Zojila, Shipkila, etc. So these are all the mountain passes. Burzil, Zojila, Shipkila are some of the mountain passes found in the Greater Himalayas. Okay. So after this, if you see to the north of the Greater Himalayas, a little above the Greater Himalayas, we can find some of the trans-Himalayan regions which is found, some of the mountain ranges which are called as trans-Himalayas. So these trans-Himalayas are little bit higher than the Greater Himalayas. So this trans-Himalayas, where these trans-Himalayas are found means they are found above the northern Himalaya, Himadri. Okay, Himadri. And these trans-Himalayas are mostly found in the Karakoram range. They are found in the Karakoram range. And in this Karakoram range, we have the highest peak of India, that is Mount K2 or Mount Godwin Austen. Mount K2 or Godwin Austen we see in the Karakoram range. So this is the highest peak in India. This is the highest peak in India, and we can find this in the Karakoram range, which is in the Trans-Himalayas. Next, we are going to discuss about the Lesser Himalayas or Himachal. So where are the Lesser Himalayas? It is below the Greater Himalayas or the Himadri. The lesser Himalayas are otherwise called Himachal. So they are found to the south of the greater Himalayas. So here the width is 60 to 80 kilometers and the height, see we saw the height, their average height 6,100 meters in the greater Himalayas. So these lesser Himalayas are of height about 1,500 to 4,000 meters, the average height. So here also we can see many parallel ranges in this region also. There are many parallel ranges in this region like Pirpanjal, Dauladhar, Nagatiba, Mussoorie, Mahabharat, Darjeeling. So these are all some of the important mountain ranges found in the lesser Himalayas. Likewise, in this region, we can also see some mountain valleys. What do you mean by valleys? Valleys are the region which are that is where life is possible. That is where it is possible for residential. So such mountain places in between two mountains or in between two rivers or something like that, they are called as valleys. If it is between mountains where the people live in between mountain region, that is called as mountain valleys. If it is the region between the river, it is called as river valleys. So here there are many mountain valleys. So some of the important mountain valleys are Kashmir Valley, Kangra Valley, Kulu Valley. So here many questions can be asked. One more question. Which are the mountain ranges in the Himachal? Which are the mountain valleys in the Himachal? So you can have take many one more questions from this. See, easily you can remember the mountain valleys. Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu. Okay. Likewise, there are also famous hill stations in this lesser Himalayas. This region is known for famous hill stations. You would have heard about Shimla, Ranikhet, Mussoorie, Nainital, Darjeeling. These are all some of the important hill stations in the lesser Himalayas or the Himachal. Next, we have the outer Himalayas. The outer Himalayas are also called as Shivaliks, or they are also called as the foothills of the Himalayas. They are called as the foothills of Himalayas. So here it is not, these mountain ranges, that is the lesser Himalayas, are not so high. See, the width is about only 15 to 150 kilometers, but the height only about 600 to 1500 meters height, the average height. So where do we find this outer Himalayas or Shivaliks means? From Jammu Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. See, we have marked in the yellow color from Jammu Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. So this is the extension of the outer Himalayas or the Shivaliks. In some regions, if you see, they have flat bottoms because they are the foothills. The bottoms are very, very flat, these hills. These mountains, the bottoms are very, very flat, and they have a longitudinal extension, the longitudinal structure valleys. And these flat bottom longitudinal structure valleys are called as dunes. What are they called as? That is, in the Shivaliks, flat bottom longitudinal valleys are found. They are called as dunes. The best example is one of the famous place, Dehradun. Okay. So now let us see about the importance of the Himalayas. So we have discussed about the northern mountains. Northern mountains consist of the Himalayas. Now let us see the importance of the Himalayas. Another important 3-mark question. What are the importance of the Himalayas? See, the importance of the Himalayas. First and foremost, as I said you, where are the Himalayas found? It is found to the north of India. So they act as natural frontiers. Natural frontiers means border. See, from China to other countries, this is like a border between India and China. So they act as the natural frontier. Second thing, they prevent foreign invasion. It is not so easy. The countries which are to the north of India, they cannot come and attack India so easily. So they prevent the foreign attacks, the foreign invasion. Next thing, the Himalayas prevent cold winds from the Central Asia. If you see Siberia and other countries, Russian countries and all, that is, it is fully covered. They are all in the polar region. So cold winds blow from the Central Asia or Siberia. So that is why if you see, most of the Himalayan regions are covered by snow. So they avoid the cold wind so that it doesn't enter for the entire country. Only Kashmir and other places are covered by snow. So it prevents the cold wind from the central. It stops, it protects the country from the cold winds. Next, they obstruct the rain-bearing winds and cause heavy rainfall. They stop the the winds which are carrying, which are moisture laden winds. So the moisture laden winds, they will have the watery nature. So the moisture laden winds, the rain bearing winds are stopped, thereby it results in causing heavy rainfall. Next we have this region, the Himalayan regions, they are very very suitable for plantation crops. Which are the plantation crops? Tea, coffee, then rubber, apple, saffron, all this. But in these regions, the plantation, this region is very very famous for tea, apple, saffron. Tea very very famous. Darjeeling tea is very famous. Saffron, Kashmir is known for saffron, apple and all. So they are all very very famous for the plantation crops. Then they have plenty of minerals. The Himalayas are the home of plenty of minerals. There are abundance of minerals present in the Himalayas. Then many of the rivers takes place the birth from these Himalayas. River Ganga, River Yamuna, River Brahmaputra, Indus, and the tributaries of all these rivers take place their birth from the Himalayas. Therefore, they are the birthplace of many many rivers. So as many rivers take place their birth, it also have many waterfalls. So these waterfalls are very very helpful for generation of hydroelectricity. So these are the importance of the Himalayas. We'll continue this chapter in the next class. Thank you, students.